nominee for 100% sure, and I wondered what it was like to shift gears so fast. I mean, it must have been like a whirlwind. I mean, I know from the book myself that it was, but how does one go from one thing to another without a lot of warning? I mean, were you one of those people, you didn't say, I want to be a vice president when you were a little girl or something?
Oh, no. When I was a little girl, the thought of any girl being a president or vice president, I mean, it was just out of the question. That wasn't what we did. And in fact, it wasn't only when I was a little girl. It was until 1984. I mean, people just didn't think of women in those terms. They kind of felt it would happen someday. But I had actually sought the position of chair of the platform committee, not because I saw myself as a candidate for vice president, but because I really wanted to run for the Senate in 1986, and felt that if I got to be chair of the platform committee, not only would I be able to help shape a platform which I felt our candidate could run and win on, I wanted to be a platform that addressed the principles of the Democratic Party and that dealt with some of the problems that we were having as a nation with the policies of Ronald Reagan and George Bush. So on the substance, I really wanted to have input into this whole thing. As a member of Congress, I knew how important it was to have a platform that other members of Congress wouldn't run away from, that senators wouldn't run away from, that they would be there to support whoever our candidate was. But as a politician and as someone who saw an opportunity for my own career, I saw this as an opportunity for me also to get a little bit of national attention, so that when I was going to run for the Senate in 1986, and I was going to start immediately after the convention to raise money, I would be able to raise money throughout the country because people would know who Gerry Ferraro was, having been around on hearings on the platform for 6 months before, and also addressing the National Convention as chair of the platform committee. So,
which was a first also for women.
It was the first time a woman was in that position. But what happened was I went out to the convention a week early because I had speeches to give in furtherance of my role as platform chair. And it was when I was out there that I got a visit from John Riley, who had been sent by the Mondale campaign to do the last-minute checking and everything else, and then found out the next day that I was the person chosen. And so then it became a whirlwind type of an event. But basically, I was prepared in that on the issues I had studied the issues, I had lived the issues for 6 years as a member of Congress. I knew exactly what I felt was right for the country, again, both as platform chair and as a member of Congress. I certainly knew Fritz Mondale well. His background as Attorney General and Senator were not unknown to me, but certainly his experience in the White House as the Vice President was known to me, and I had worked with Fritz, as I'd worked with all the other candidates on the platform. So it wasn't a total shock, and it wasn't a total shifting of gears, though I must say being a candidate for Vice President was unlike anything that I had ever experienced or will ever experience again.
I wanted to ask in terms of that, when you accepted the nomination, when you knew